Hi there guys, I'm Chris Bowden with the Geek Group. This is Adam Abbott hanging out here. What's your username in the forums?
Muju0Kane.
Yeah, we're just going to type that so that you guys know who to yell at in the forums. Muju0Kane.
Yep.
Gesundheit. In today's equipment autopsy, we are taking apart a Pentium 3 Sony Vaio netbook. This is a model PCG9512. So if you have a PCG9512 Sony Vaio, grab a screwdriver and follow along at home. You'll need a #1 Phillips and a hammer. But laptops are something that are ubiquitous. Everybody's got one, except you, because you're just not cool enough to have a laptop, you cheap bastard. So what we're going to do is take this apart and show people the basics of laptops and how they work and what's inside them, because there's a lot of people out there who just don't know. And the whole idea behind the equipment autopsy is we like taking stuff apart to show you guys how things work.
Or in most cases, how things don't work.
Yeah, how they died. So we're going to start simple. On the bottom, we've got a release tab here, and that pops out this, which is the floppy drive. So yeah, that's out of the picture. Now we've got some little hatches. On the bottom of a laptop, there's usually a hatch or two. One is almost always RAM, so that makes it's very easy usually to upgrade the RAM on a laptop. So we'll pop these off. So this one doesn't have any memory in it. They already scammed that out. This was donated to us, but we'll be nice and not say who donated us to it because they're a horrible person and stole the memory out of it. And then we've got the CMOS battery over here, which is just a button cell, which pops out like that. Here, look at that, see if it's safe. And then we've got a little expansion card over here, which is probably a modem. I think this is too early for Wi-Fi. It's on the edge, it could be Wi-Fi. It's probably a modem. Let's pull that out. This is
a modem.
It's a modem. It's got the little Happy in Canada thing. Usually you can identify modems by having a little cord plugged in with two wires, but this one just, the plug's there and it's hidden under there. So oh, here it is. It's buried in there, but there is a plug. It pulled out when I pulled the thing out, so we don't need that. Now, there are screws all over the place that have little arrows pointing to them, and those usually mean you have to take this screw out to take something, you know, to take the frame apart or something like that, to take the outer housing off. So I'm just going to work my way around on these. Now, also you should note we already removed the battery from this laptop. It simply slides in the side here, that's where the battery goes. We already took the battery out for safety.
Also, you should know that if it was a wireless card, it would have two little ports on this where the antenna would connect and travel up around the screen.
Yeah, the antenna on most laptops is hidden behind the screen, which is a novel place to put it. Did I get them all? Let's find out. I have to spend so much time working on client machines, it's nice to be able to just throw this around.
Right.
Still has the dust covers in the Pcmcia slots.
It has two.
Oh, now I've got some edge screws to do. This is actually a pretty impressive laptop for its time. It's got FireWire and everything. Checking behind doors for screws that I can't see from the outside. It was used a lot. It's got a pretty good layer of gunge in it.
I must add how hilarious it is that this laptop still has a parallel port.
Yeah, that's a relatively recent thing to lose. And serial ports are still a common thing on a lot of laptops, which for some of us is a very good thing. I actually use the serial port on laptops quite a bit because we'll hook them up for terminaling into, like we've got a big mainframe here that the only way to access it is to set up a laptop as a dumb terminal. All right, I don't see any other housing screws anywhere. I think we're at the pry and scream and swear stage.
This probably has snaps.
Yeah, there'll be snaps, which suck. I need something to lever on this. Oh, hey, I've got a tool that you don't get to see used on a computer very often. Oh yeah, that comes right off.
Just as a side note, if you're trying to take apart your laptop at home, don't use a giant monkey wrench.
That's not a monkey wrench, that's a crescent wrench.
Oh, crescent wrench.
Not a monkey wrench.
You're right.
There's probably something under the keyboard that I was missing.
Probably.
So let's see if we can pop the keyboard out. I'll bet if I take that off, that's the seat. Okay, so this is the speakers and the little email button and power switch held in a little ribbon cable. Don't need that. Ah, that's what holds the keyboard in. One screw right there. So there goes the keyboard, and there's the keyboard cable. And you can, here, we'll sell that on eBay for 5 cents. Somewhere there's a guy out there who really needs one. I got a screw over here. I think that's it for housing screws. Let's try and keep this in the middle so the people at home can follow along. We can take this out. The DVD drive comes out with just one screw and a plug. So it's a reader and CDR and rewritable, so that's nice. I think there's anything left to hold that in, but it disagrees with me. Oh, there we go. All right, and this is just the mouse, the touchpad, which, there's where the cable went. That was that cable, so we don't need that. And you can see once you get rid of the big stuff, like the battery and the portable drive, and they already took the hard drive out of it.
They did already.
The hard drive obviously went here because there's the IDE cable. Yeah. Horrible people.
They were
really, yeah. Thanks, guys.
I was curious once everything like this was unplugged. It's like, wait a second.
Okay, well this is where the hard drive would go. The hard drive's about that big, and it's not here. So you can see the hard drive. We'll take that cable out. Now we're down to the motherboard. And we've got Pcmcia slots, which sadly you don't see a lot of anymore. That seems to be going away. I'm an E guy, so I'm used to not having Pcmcia slots. See, here, we'll turn this. See if you can work on the bezel around the screen. Is it bezel or bezel? What do you use?
I use screen plastics.
Screen plastic, okay. It's the winder frame.
Right.
Ran that, because it's got winders. Had a guy once, years ago, call up the shop, and he's like, I want to buy a pewter with winders. And we hooked him up though.
I am going to assume
I'm taking the processor cooler off.
that there's probably screws that I can't get to underneath these little plastic covers because I have nothing to pry the little plastic covers off.
Where's your Swiss Army knife?
I have a Swiss Army knife. I have a regular knife.
Where's your regular knife? You got one? Well, use that. I'm fishing for a Swiss Army knife here. You got a knife. Ooh. All right, while you're abusing that, I'm gonna see if I can get this out. Excuse me a moment. Thank you. Yeah, it comes right out now. I had a screw stuck in there. So, all right, this is our processor cooler. Now, this is neat. This is, does it have a heat pipe?
I'm going to take this
pipe? I don't think we have a heat pipe in this. I think it's too old. Oh, man, I don't want to show them a heat pipe. I think that's just a chunk of aluminum with a little integral fan. That bites. All right, I'm going to wrench on this here.
Not literally again?
No, I'm torquing. Well, no, not with that wrench. I need. Do you have a screwdriver down here big enough to use? I got like 300 tools under here. You think I got a regular size straight blade screwdriver, but I got this. That'll do it.
Just so everyone knows, I have been taking off little plastic covers, if I can actually hold one, like this.
Yeah, but okay, you're working for that one, so that's the camera. You want to do that an easier way? Watch, take it and put it, see the second one over there?
Yeah,
put it right here. You're like, there. See, that's really as good as it. That's our close-up camera, which is the one up there. It's weird, isn't it? You're out here, you're like, okay, that monitor's over there, and this is here, and...
I have been taking those off of these little screws that are right there that you probably can't really see from that screen anyways.
Hey, I got it. Look at this. No heat pipe.
No heat pipe.
Sony, you suck.
I could have told you that.
It's just a little, it's a duct with a little, it's a casting. It's not even like machined, it's just cast. It's pot metal. It's like zinc. I don't even think it's aluminum. It feels like pot metal. So yeah, that's crap. Here's a little CPU cooler, which is a little centrifugal blower. I'll put that right there. See a little centrifugal blower? Here's your heat sinks. And it's just this crap. It sucks.
Bad fat.
Yeah. Did you get that off yet?
I need a screwdriver.
Which one?
Little.
You need that one.
Wait. Yes, okay.
You need that one. All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to work on the motherboard. Oh, for those of you who I know are frightfully curious, now I can see this is why you need a Swiss Army knife for this kind of stuff. The processor for the laptop is located right here. It's that chip. Oh, Mikey's zooming in, hang on. It's right there. There's the CPU, and you can see the goop on top, which is long since dried off. And to remove this, there's a little thing right there. See that little twisty bit? It's a ZIF socket of some sort, and I'll try and, where am I? I'm over here. You put this in here, just put a screwdriver in it, and give it a turn. It should pop right out. You gotta figure out which way to turn it. No, that's the way it wants to be. And then, oh, it's turning too hard. Ah, yeah,
you have to turn
complete the turn, yeah. So here's the CPU, which is Intel made in 2000. It's a, I'm going to say a P3850 because it says KP850/256. So I'm guessing that's a P3850 with 256 of RAM or on die. I don't know. Somebody out there will know. It's Chip. Ah! So yeah, this is the actual brain of the laptop. This is the CPU. When they say like, Pentium inside or AMD inside, if it's a real cool computer, this is the actual little brain. And the chip itself is this little centerpiece that's only about a centimeter square under the yellow here. That's the actual chip itself. The rest is a carrier, which is just a bit of plastic because there's so many plugs that have to go in there, they can't fit them all in the space that tiny. So yeah, and now you know. And this is the screen plug. Are you having fun over there?
Yes, I am.
You're making me nervous.
Why?
I don't know, just snapping, popping. You got that screwdriver you're using? Thank you. I'm taking out the grounding lead for the screen, since you're ripping that apart, so you might want that.
I still got screws.
I got something under here. You got more screws you need out?
I'm going to assume there's probably one under there and one on the other side.
Yeah, that's where the hinge screws will be.
Yep.
Okay, I've got a little here. I've got a little heatsink, which hides
South bridge. Looks like.
South bridge, North bridge?
That's what I think. Either that or that's the GPU.
Could be with the heatsink. Could be because usually North bridges aren't heat synced in these.
No, it's usually South bridge is heat synced, or usually South bridge and CPU share a heat sink, and the
okay. Well, this
GPU
is
has its own mini.
a Intel 81SEM. I'm going to guess by the fact that there's a lot of traces coming right from here directly to the CPU that's Northbridge. Or graphics. Probably graphics so that make connections. because I mean it's like CPUs directly tied in there, so that's probably graphics, and that would make this the graphics RAM, right here.
Yep, that would make sense.
Okay, cool.
See, so now you know how cheap Sony is. They can't even spring for a good graphics chipset.
Intel integrated graphics. It's great. It's better than like NVIDIA and stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's Intel integrated graphics.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to watch out real quick because I don't want to stab you with the knife.
See, I thought you'd have done that for, you know, the Intel crack. It's a nice knife you got there. What is it?
Maxim.
Oh, okay. You bought your knife from a men's magazine?
It sounds like it. No,
Does it come with like free porn or something?
I actually got it in a big
What
set
is that?
with a whole bunch of everything else.
I got a thing here. Looks like it's a switch. So I think it's a case switch or something. I don't know. It must be something like that. But there's a screw behind it, so it's coming out. You got that cover up yet?
It is a case switch. It is the dim light switch,
Oh,
most
it's
likely.
the light switch. Okay. Most laptops, this is not a, oh look, hey, we got a cocoon down here.
Oh, nice.
It's got a bug. I had to. There's a cocoon right here. Here. You see that? Right there. There's a cocoon. So it's got a bug. Most laptops, and this I don't see one on there, and I don't see a reed switch for it. Most laptops have a little magnet hidden in the hinge somewhere. It'll usually be in the bottom part of the screen bezel. And there's a reed switch located down here, and when you close the screen, the magnet moves over and it tells the computer that you've closed the screen. This one doesn't have that. It's just got a switch that works off the big latch, and when the latch pushes and hold, that tells it it's closed.
Actually, most of the laptops I've worked on have come with similar switches to the one he just removed, except for it's actually between the case.
Yeah, there'll be the little button sticking up.
Yes.
Yeah, if they don't have the
And
magnets,
the
they got those. But I see a lot of magnets. Dells are big on the magnets.
Ah, that's probably why. I don't work on Dells. I hate Dells.
We work on a lot of Dells at the shop. In fact, I'm working on one tomorrow. Did you get that off yet? Oh.
You took the screwdriver away.
Well, you're being mean to me. Making fun of me.
That one's already out.
Oh, okay. Well, take it off.
Ah! There, it's off.
There. Okay. It's beautiful. Don't need that anyway. Now you want to watch out. There's sometimes there's a couple gnarly little springs in these. It depends on the quality of the laptop.
This one
I
probably
think
won't.
this storage works on friction. Now we've got all kinds of other stuff in here.
One thing that I am going to take out, if this will come out.
What do you want?
No.
What is that?
This, which I just broke. the cable I broke on. This is the strip of micro LEDs.
That's the backlight?
No.
No,
it's
okay.
the control LEDs.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's got micro LEDs. This is what is the
supposed to mega LEDs?
You know, power light, battery charging light, hard drive access light,
Ethernet if you're really cool.
Huh.
All right, tear into there and show them about backlights and stuff. Find the inverter.
If you can.
I got a pair of nuts over here. I don't know what they do. Story of my life. But what's holding that in there? I'm missing a screw.
They're grounds.
Yeah, but they're grounds, but I don't know where they go to. I think they're for the modem.
No, I think they're just ground spots. So that if you need a ground, if there's a wire in here that they need.
I don't think so. I think that's
the thing I've seen.
It would make sense, but that's a lot of expenditure. Okay, there. You've got your half, I've got mine. What else do we got? Okay, I've got a separate module here, a daughter board. See, this is referred to as the motherboard, this big piece right here. And if there's a little separate board attached directly to it, it's often referred to as a daughter board, which is usually just some kind of add-in module. In this case, I have no idea how that's passing. There's nothing holding it in there except spite.
Now, as you can see here, most of the time the wires for the monitor are run through one of the joints, then come up and connect to the monitor in a regular little joint just like that. Right there.
It's actually a handy tool.
Oversized screwdrivers, more useful than ever thought of.
You just lever on in there and work it around. It'll be fine. Ah. Yeah, I got that screw. Oh, see? Just need a little torque. Comes right out.
You got a little more over there.
Yeah, that's a whole bar full of newtons, isn't it? There's still something like under the Pcmcia slot holding this, and I can't get it out.
Are you sure it's holding it and you're not supposed to slide? Like I've seen them where you're supposed to pull the...
I have no idea. I've never taken a Vaio apart before.
See where it's caught.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Riser.
Yeah, there's a standoff. That's doing it. It's that standoff right there. Okay, standoff had its last stand. Take the, okay, now there's the case, and we don't need any of that. Okay, now we've got the motherboard. So let's look at this, and we'll take any extraneous cables off. You're doing all kinds of nifty stuff over here, aren't you?
Just tape.
Okay, let's look at our motherboard. Now we've got the Pcmcia slots. This is the CPU socket, the north bridge, the south bridge. This is the video memory. I don't see the power supply. Power supply's got to be this little mess of stuff down here.
Yep.
Because I've got the power socket there. Yeah, that's the power supply there, because you can see the coupling capacitors. Okay, and this is our audio in and out, so that's probably our audio driver there, or the FireWire driver, because the FireWire is right there. And yeah, and it's pretty simple. So let's talk a little bit about what some of the stuff is. This is CPU socket. That's where the brain of the computer goes. These are memory chips soldered right on here. Now the regular system RAM goes here. This would be your RAM on the computer. So this memory here is probably just video memory for the video card. And you've got the North Bridge chip handles, the North Bridge and the South Bridge are like two big data controllers, like traffic cops for data. And one of them handles like all the data going to and from the hard drives, and data into and out of RAM, data into and out of the video card, all that stuff. It doesn't go directly to the chip. It goes through the North Bridge or the South Bridge chip. So all your stuff like Ethernet and FireWire and audio and video and everything the computer has to handle usually goes through the North Bridge or the South Bridge. The Pcmcia slots are where the Pcmcia cards would go. And it's pretty self-explanatory, and they fit all this on here. And at some point in the near future, we'll dig into a full-size desktop computer, and you'll understand why laptops usually cost right about twice as much as a comparable desktop. And what you're paying for is size. It's really that simple. You're paying to cram 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound box. So yeah, and on the bottom, now usually in the world of integrated circuits that you and I spend so much time dealing in, you'll have cards like this circuit card here, where you've got, I'm way off camera, where you've got the component side here, and then on the back you have the solder side, or the circuit side. Now, on motherboards, they do something really cool. This motherboard doesn't have just a component side and a solder side. There's probably 5 or 7 or more layers of stuff all sandwiched together with all the different circuits to get around, and then they put components on both sides. And you can see there's a lot of surface mount technology on here. That's a crystal there. Lots of little ICs. That's a capacitor. These are capacitors. Here's the battery socket for the CMOS battery, and I'm getting off camera again. Here's a battery socket here. This is the docking station port. Just all kinds of stuff. And then there's this, you can tell this is a hack because there's a piece of Captain tape holding this on, and a big glob of hot glue or silicone. No, it's hot glue. And there's a couple big gnarly resistors on the. Oh, are those resistors or are those crystals? I thought it was a ceramic resistor at first, but I moved it, and oh, let's see what this is. It's on there pretty good. Let's just twist it right off. Have a look. That is. It says 106. And I think it may actually be a capacitor.
That's what I was just thinking.
Looks
Looks like
like
it's round.
Yeah, that's a cap. That's a little electrolytic cap. Actually, that's a gigantic electrolytic cap for this application. So it's probably 100 microfarad at 6 volts or something. But yeah, that's your look inside the motherboard. So what do you got? You've got the screen, which is a Samsung.
Which is actually halfway decent. I think the first halfway decent thing I've seen in this computer.
So where's our backlight?
To be honest, I don't know.
It's not in the edge? No? Okay. It's not there?
I have not seen the backlight.
It's got to be in here. It's probably attached to this.
Probably.
All right, let's tear into this screen.
I have not dealt much with screens.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well here, then I'll teach you something.
There you go.
That's what we're here for. Okay, we don't need that, so we'll get rid of that. And there's lots of sandwich layers of plastic and protective candy shells and stuff that we don't need.
Tape.
Yeah, and this is the driver circuit here. So you've got the main video driver chip, and this is the main cable that brings the data up, and then these little cables go out to the screen, to like the rows of pixels. And then there's another set of them over here, and I'm seeing these things. I don't know what that is. I think that's a connector. I don't know. Let's dig in a little further and see what we see. Plastic must come off. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now, this is we'll get to that. This is the actual screen itself, and there's no way these show up on camera, but there are thousands of little tiny wires embedded in these, and there's bigger wires here that go to these, and I'm guessing these are like a multiplexer or something like that, and every row of pixels on here gets a wire, so it creates a giant matrix. And there is, look at that, see the iridescence? That's because this is, well, first off, it's polarized, and second, it will behave kind of like a diffraction grating. You can't actually, we can see through it, but I don't think you guys can. Yeah, you can kind of see my face through there. Okay, if we were to plug this in and make it work, you could actually see through the screen. Now this is polarized, so weird things happen if you take two of them and do the old polarized light trick. But this is a screen, and this what I'm holding is the part that so often cracks. And that's where we get to show something really cool. So let's take and now, pretty colors. Here, let's get a close-up. And you can see the colors that come out. This is a liquid crystal display, and there's really no easy way to get that on camera, is there? I'll try it over here. You can see the layers coming out here. See, that's where you get your characteristic LCD goodness, because there are liquid crystals sandwiched in between the glass here. And we'll just, you know what we need? Precision instrument. Okay then. This is my job. Let's just take a moment to go. This is my job. So cool.
I must say, you remind me of my cousin.
Yeah?
Taking a screwdriver.
Is he still in the home? Oh, wow.
Should be.
I don't know if this is going to come out on camera, but it looks really cool.
Oh, that does look
We've
cool.
got major psychedelia happening here. Can you see that? I don't know. It's really pretty. It's art. I should frame this. So we've got that. Now this is the backlight layer here, which is a big, soft, fuzzy piece of plastic, several layers deep. We've got this, which is that, which is just a translucent piece of plastic. It's a diffusion grating. And then we've got this, which is more diffuse.
Woo!
So you're pretty. And then we've got this, which is shiny and kind of diffuse. It's really cool up close. It doesn't show up well on the camera because the light's reflecting off it, but there. And then we've got this, which is just a mirror. So lots of layers. That's not just a mirror.
No, that's not.
That's diffractioning. And it puts halos around things. That might be like a Fresnel lens or something, but it isn't quite accurate. Yeah, it's a lens. It's a Fresnel. So we've got that. And then behind that, now here's the money shot. Okay. There's our frame. We've got a piece of white reflective plastic. And this, which has a pattern of little white dots on it that are screen print on it. If you run your hand on it, you can feel the screen printing.
Oh, yeah.
Run your nail on it.
Yeah, I
Feel
can.
it? So that's the back plastic. And then there's this. This little tiny thing hidden in here. I'm going to try and do this without breaking it, but it's not going to happen. It's glued on there, so that gets that electrode. This is the part that we replace a lot. This and the inverter, usually they come together. Oh, I don't know if I can get this out of here without breaking it. It's got a piece of brass around it. It's super freaky delicate, which is why they wrap it in a piece of metal so that idiots like me can't trash it. There you go. That, here, take an end. You know what you're holding?
This is the backlight.
It is, but it's a cold cathode fluorescent tube. That is a little tiny, tiny version of one of those. So yeah, there's the backlight. Modern ones use OLEDs, which are organic light emitting diodes. Quite fabulous. But old school ones, and you can still get laptops with these. Careful, if you bend that, it'll snap.
I don't know. Well, yeah.
But yeah.
Believe me, I've hit one of those against a trash can. I know what it does.
So that's your equipment autopsy look at the Sony Pentium 3 Vaio laptop, now in about 500 pieces. You guys have fun? Please remember to comment, rate, and by all means donate, because it's your donations of like $1, $5, $10, stuff like that. They make a hell of a difference here. They really do.